Homelander versus Captain Underpants. You would never really think these two characters would cross paths, but if they did, well, who's going to come out on top? Who would ultimately win? Let's get into it. But if you think Homelander wins, well, hit that subscribe button. And if you disagree, if you think Captain Underpants takes it, we'll turn on that notification bell. Now let's get it. So if we're talking about Homelander, well, for starters, he's a psychopath, a truly unhinged lunatic. He's beefed with a baby before. He's got no problem killing anybody. He's got a weird thing for milk, which is just weird. But the real question is just exactly how strong is this guy? Well, he is quite literally the strongest man in the world and has never met anyone who's been his pure physical equal. And I guess you could argue that Soldier Boy exists now, but I don't even know if Soldier Boy is his true equal. Sure, Soldier Boy can give Homelander a good fight, but Homelander said it himself.
Oh no. I'm the upgrade.
Soldier Boy can injure him, can blow him up with those explosions that would also theoretically depower him. But in a straight up fight, Homelander is still winning that one. He was still winning that one. He's easily crushed skulls, punched into a man's stomach, and just casually tossed people hundreds of feet into the air. Also, since Homelander is the strongest hero in the world, it logically makes sense that he's stronger than all the other members of the Seven. He's stronger than Stormfront, who easily destroyed a building. He's stronger than Queen Maeve, who easily stopped a speeding armored truck. And stronger than A-Train, who was able to pull a locomotive after having just broken his leg. And he is like way stronger than them. Homelander was able to casually knock off the door of a pressurized plane. But there is one thing. He did say he was actually not able to carry the hijacked plane to safety. So he kind of killed a whole lot of people there with that one. But it does suggest that he's actually unable to use his full strength while he's up in the air. Either that, or while he could lift and move the plane, the outside of the plane is so fragile, it would just end up punching right through it when he tried to push against it. I think he probably could have saved the plane or moved the plane if he wanted to though. Bottom line, regardless, Homelander's pretty strong. But while Homelander is strong, well, durability is definitely Homelander's weakest asset. Not really because he's not durable, but just because he's never really had anything truly test his durability. He's bulletproof, was unscathed by a bus and rebel crashing down on top of him, but the guy is obviously intended to be invincible. It was said that if Homelander ever turned against America, or turned against Vought, they'd have no way to take him down. It's also said that there isn't a weapon on Earth that they haven't thrown at him. They've all failed. Obviously, this is including nukes. So just from those statements, Homelander is incredible. But here's the thing, it is totally possible that Homelander actually isn't as durable as he makes himself out to be, or as everyone else makes him out to be. I mean, Soldier Boy was getting his hits in, getting some dang good hits while he was at it. Even gave Homelander some bruises. Queen Maeve went against him, stabbed him right straight in the ear hole. You get a little deeper there and Homelander is done for. Even Stormfront was able to throw him around. But that one was definitely more the kinky type of roughhousing, rather than the I'm gonna beat your face in now type. Another thing is, just like Homelander doesn't have a ton of durability feats, doesn't really have a ton of speed feats. I mean, in fact, I don't think we've ever seen Homelander's speed in a fight, except maybe like once or twice. That being said though, he is really pretty fast when he's just flying around. He's regularly flown at Mach speed, even reached up to Mach 5 while saving Butcher from that C4 explosion. Instead, while Homelander does have all these incredible powers, and sometimes he'll have to use them in a fight, more often than not, Homelander is just completely spamming his heat vision all over the place. And for the most part, well, it really is effective. He can easily slice through flesh and bone, just kill people with one glance, and he can also use it against other supers and send them flying backwards. All in all, well, Homelander is pretty powerful. Easily the most powerful super we've seen with the boys so far. But for as powerful as Homelander is, well, what's he gonna do against the power and might of Captain Underpants? Benny Krupp is the meanest, sourest elementary school teacher you'll ever meet. He hates kids, he hates fun, and he especially hates his troublemaking students Harold and George. However, one day, Harold and George used a special hypno ring to hypnotize their teacher into thinking that he's the superhero Captain Underpants, out there ready to fight evil. Problem is, that Captain Underpants is still just a bald, overweight guy with no superpowers. So they end up having to follow him around and make sure that he doesn't get hurt. That is, until he ends up getting his hands on some alien juice that gives him real superpowers. Now, just like Homelander, Captain Underpants also has superhuman strength. But while the best we've seen from Homelander is kinda maxing out at potentially lifting an airplane, weighing somewhere between 40 and 60 tons, well, Captain Underpants has got that easily beat. He's able to throw around giant robots and mechs like it's nothing, throwing them so hard that he's leveling buildings in the process. Or what about when he easily caught, overpowered the robot rocket arms that Harold 2000 shot at him? Both Harold 2000 and Robo George were specifically designed to beat Captain Underpants. And then Captain Underpants went on to use those arms to absolutely destroy the two robots. He even managed to lift up one of the robots and smash it into the other one with so much force that it was knocking buildings up into the air. That is easily surpassing anything we've seen from Homelander. Now, Captain Underpants has never really had the best durability showings because, like Homelander, he's never really had his durability tested. Just nothing seems to be able to hurt him or injure him. Captain Underpants, they will take pretty much everything that comes his way. And you can't really say the same thing about Homelander. Sure, there's all that talk about him being able to take every weapon known to man and survive nuclear bombs or whatever, but that's more than likely just marketing propaganda. I mean, Vought made up Homelander's whole backstory and history. Just like they did with every member of the Seven, they definitely made that up too. Sure, they tested his durability, and he is really tough, that much is true, but just a few attacks from Soldier Boy were enough to give him bruises. Just a few attacks from Queen Maeve were enough to make him bleed. There's no way those punches were packing the power of a nuke behind them. Homelander just isn't as tough as he'd want you to believe. Then, of course, there's the fact that you can scale Captain Underpants up to a planetary level being. I know, that's absolutely crazy. Now, for starters, he's been said to be on par with Captain Blunderpants, who was said could easily destroy the Earth. Now, that one's a little more sketchy. You need something a bit more solid to actually be able to say that Captain Underpants is planetary level. Well, what about the fact that his powers are exactly the same and completely equal with Super Diaper Baby and Super Diaper Dog, both of whom are able to push around the Earth? So then it becomes pretty easy to say that Captain Underpants can do the same thing too. But even if you don't want to go as far as to say that Captain Underpants can literally move a planet, well, the fight does become a lot closer. But I still think it's clear that Captain Underpants can win it. Just him throwing around giant robots and wrecking cities, it's more impressive than what we've seen from Homelander, ever. With Captain Underpants packing that kind of power, well, I don't think there's any doubt here that he's gonna take it. Captain Underpants wins. But what do y'all think? Sound off in the comments down below. I know you're gonna have thoughts and feelings on this one for sure. If you stuck around this long and made it to the end of the video, that's amazing. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting us. And if you want to go subscribe, well, go subscribe. You're going to see more videos like this one every single week. I'll see y'all then. I'll see y'all next time.